Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to Hello Open Metaverse, brought to you by Animoca Brands. Today, we're featuring the beautiful Rachel Vancelette, art world power player and owner of VGAA, an international contemporary art, fashion, and luxury agency working on worldwide impressive projects, notably currently preparing to open the Wall Art Gallery in Wynwood, Miami. During her career, she has impressively mobilized over 180 international contemporary artists, the likes of Kenny Scharf, Marilyn Minter, Will Cotton, Billy Zane, to name a few. Rachel is an arts market trends expert who has worked for famed galleries and organizations such as Yvonne Lambert and Gladstone Gallery. She currently sits as the art and fashion luxury expert for Sotheby's Institute of Art in London. Today, we're chatting about the launch of Sotheby's new program called Metaversity for creative business leaders. It's an accelerator-like program dedicated to educating cultural and creative business professionals on the opportunities for innovation within the Web3 technology. Today, we're chatting about art in the metaverse and the new immersive experience redefining galleries. In a digital platform called Decentraland, there's another Sotheby's, where there's a yellow digital avatar of an ape greeting you at the door. The space is a replica of Sotheby's in London. Sotheby's has launched its own user-friendly digital native NFT trading platform called Sotheby's Metaverse. This is another mode of bridging the Web 2 and Web 3 gap, drawing in more traditional collectors as well as crypto enthusiasts. Sotheby's wants to be part of jumpstarting conversations. There was an enormous response to NFTs taking off in the art world with the new audiences coming in. But of course, they also have audience of traditional art collectors. That includes people who are still skeptical and people who are interested but just don't know how to enter the space. The Sotheby's approach has been to take a step back and focus on education. And here to chat some more is my stunning art expert at hand, Rachel Vancelette. Welcome to the show, beautiful.
Thank you. Nice to see you today. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much for coming on. So, you are part of the elite Metropolitan Magazine cover club. Congratulations. I'm honored to be the September 21 cover, and you were the beautiful December 2020 cover. So, you are now part of the old boys club. That's what I call it.
There we go. Welcome to the club. I'm glad to have you. So that's exciting to hear. So
Yeah. So, talk to me about this amazing career path that emboldened you into this incredible art expert.
Well, I've worked in the field for a number of years, about 20 years now. So my passion for art and technology and fashion has always been at the forefront. So I've been able to work with creatives at very top levels and been very lucky to work with great organizations such as Gladstone and Yvonne Lambert, and did my studies and my master's at Sotheby's Institute. So I continue to push these ideas that creatives are really important to culture and to our world. So I've had a really wonderful experience being able to work with some of the top artists and top gallerists, and cut my teeth. So yeah.
Well, you're definitely in the right space at the right time. Max Moore, who is the head of contemporary art auctions at Sotheby's Asia, was quoted saying, "The first NFT sale back in April of 2021 with the artist Pac took a total of 17 million, and then recognized from that sale that there was a great opportunity, a demand from the collector side, and of course, great artwork from the artist side to really, have a stepping stone for a bigger framework there, realizing Sotheby's could play a very important role in this burgeoning market, given their current role in the contemporary art market and in the physical collectibles world as well. They were already bridging the gap between the two worlds. They have major projects in the work in the space right now. Rachel, what do you say to this, and where is the benefit for artists in the metaverse equation?
Well, I think some artists are warming up to it. Some are already there. I think now when we have more technology coming to the forefront, you have to address this. And it, comes from the physical to the metaverse, where you can create your own environment. So I think there's an excitement about it, but there's a hesitation about it. We're seeing a lot more things happening with blockchain provenance. We're seeing a lot of companies come forth doing fractionalization with artwork, trying to understand how to gather a larger community of collectors, but also looking at the fact that artists now can have droid to suite. They can have this idea that they get a commission when they are able to sell within a technology and be able to get that royalty. So I think it does come down to new companies coming in, really taking a place. The auction houses are kind of at the forefront of that, being able to understand, that there's a safety net here, that we're able to see provenance, we're able to see history. We can look back at who owns things, and as they move forward, as the art industry continues to evolve, it's always been a very private industry, and things trade in private hands. So we're able to see kind of the trajectory. There is commodification, there is commercialization, there's a lot of controversy in it among artists. So, we're just kind of seeing this evolution, which I think is really an interesting time. I mean, there's people that are very deep in it and, are getting collected by the moment at the moment. So we have, different generations of immersive artists, AI artists, but we also have the traditional painters who are trying to figure out the way to move into this world and use technology in a different forum.
That's extremely interesting insight, and of course, that's why we have you on right here. But I love to hear this stuff because it's so very telling of where we're headed, and it's so very needed to create a safe, open metaverse. So Sotheby's metaverse is actually evidence that Sotheby's is thinking long term about NFTs as a series of collectibles that will have a long lifespan rather than part of a speculative bubble, so to speak. Now, this program designed for those working in the art, design, luxury, fashion, sports, lifestyle, and other creative fields who want to master the fundamentals of Web3 and identify new business models and partnerships and opportunities, really, that will help take their career or business to the next level is Metaversity. And registration for Metaversity opens this January. What are your thoughts on this program? Very different program than what you studied. And is it a demanded sector?
I think it's going to be a demanded sector. I think we're kind of still new in that category, but there's a lot of terminology, ideologies, all these kind of things going on. I think there needs to be some educational course that people can ask those horrible questions and put them on the floor. I mean, when we think about, like, I've been teaching on the arts and luxury course, and or at least speaking and coming in and speaking to the students, and some of the biggest questions are, how are we going to get part of this gaming community? How are we going to get involved in this? Like, should we care? Should we care on the fashion side? Should we care on the art side? And so those things are very important in order to grow business now, in order to move forward as an artist. Remember, artists are working from their studios. They're their own, business. So, when we think about people who are coming in that are art advisors or people that are the middleman, I mean, there has to be some education in this, be able to be the vocal advisor in order to steer artists as well as dealers and part of the organizations that are working in more of a traditional mode in the art industry. We have to remember, we just finished the Paul Allen sale. We had a $1.6 billion sale at Christie's. It was all traditional art. So there's still people in this category that we want to pull into the other category. So I think having educational courses that really speak to these ideas and really educate people, even if it's an ABC, will be helpful. So I think in the future.
Yes, it's extremely helpful. There's a real need for education in the NFT space, and not just education in a didactic sense, but conversation and collective imagination about the NFT phenomenon and what it means for the reimagination of power structures in the arts. I mean, for instance, Rachel, CryptoPunks might not have a place in the traditional art world, but they could live in the metaverse where they can be admired by avid digital collectors. How is your agency adapting to the changing tastes of this generation?
Well, the pandemic really forced us into building, digital galleries, looking at different spaces. We moved at a tremendous pace after 2020. So when we really think about, I was working on the project we did for Arts and Puzzles and launching 180 artists globally for a traditional limited edition. But when we really think about where we're moving and how we need to adapt, there has to be a digital footprint. I mean, people are selling with, off of JPEGs, and we're at a global community now more than ever. I mean, I used to travel to 10 art fairs a year years ago, 10 to 12 art fairs a year. It's not necessary anymore. We can be online. We can take people through experiential ideas online. And so that's the advantage for a lot of commerce, being able to make sure that things are placed. And then when you look at like the MoMA and where they've come with video art, if we think about 20 years ago where video art was really questionable for the MoMA to acquire, and now they have, the William Paley Foundation, the former founder of, I think it was CBS. He's, those pieces are being auctioned off at Sotheby's, and that money's going back into acquiring this work for the MoMA. So as the museums start to acquire, we're going to see a lot more of an excitement and a confidence, I think, in collectors, traditional collectors. So my agency has been really working on some of these projects globally to kind of make sure people feel, you see, the crypto fails that are happening, you see mass news coming out, you need to really think about where you're putting your money, I think, at the end of the day. And those are the kind of conversations we're having, to make sure people feel safe and feel like they're making the investments in the right places. So.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, listen, the metaverse is definitely enabling artists. There's opportunities that, the metaverse offers to creators around the world that they wouldn't have access to in the traditional sense. And in 2021, several records were broken. The most expensive Bored Ape yacht club ever sold in October of 2021 for 3.4 million. And then the second most expensive CryptoPunk ever sold, I think achieved close to $12 million or 11.7. Sotheby's marquee sale exclusively for NFTs and digital art, which is natively digital, are held 3 times a year, and they bring together a highly curated selection of NFTs from the most sought after digital artists and creators. And again, that's done online, not something that you would find in your traditional form. So we definitely see the evolution here. What projects is your agency involved in that you are most excited about in the traditional art world?
Wow.
And what are the ones you're most excited about in the metaverse?
Well, we are opening a space down in Miami Wynwood that's opening during Art Basel called the Wall Art Gallery. We've curated a show of about 18 artists that are on the footprint of what technology really has been evolving over many years. We have certain artists that were working in 3D printing technology. We have certain artists that are influenced by technology, but still doing traditional painting. We have certain artists that are using photography and light boxes in a certain way in order to emulate certain things, and also doing NFTs online. So we have a lot of a mixture of these artists. So that's my excitement, is that merging of that technology footprint, the idea of the human and technology, and how that's going to counter influence. So I'm really excited about that project we opened during Art Basel. We're also launching a company that's called IX9, and it's a creative platform that's creator to creator. So it's going to be a video kind of expert site that people can speak to each other. You can be anybody in the world and talk to a creative expert within the industry, which hopefully will create more voices and more conversations about what's currently happening in the creative arts and how we're kind of all crossing over. When you think about the fashion world and the art world kind of doing these cross collaborations in the metaverse, Gucci and a number of really wonderful fashion brands are doing this now, and they're collaborating with contemporary artists. We have this merging thing happening, and I think it's exciting. So those are some of the projects that are coming up for us. Miami Art Basel is a very big time, and they're doing a very large thing at the convention center that's working with certain artists who are going to be using AI technology to mint NFTs and lectures. And it's really talk about human and technology and how we're going to adapt. So I think Art Basel is going to be, kind of a really big week for these conversations.
Yes, and that's December 1st to the 3rd in Miami. So that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Well, we are out of time. You are amazing, so full of information. You are not your average art expert, because now you are like a tech expert as well, and talking about metaverse and Web3 and cryptocurrency. You bring it all together, my darling. You are quite impressive.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. So thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it.
You got it. That was our Hello Metaverse segment by Animoca Brands, and that was the awesome Rachel Vancelette. You definitely have to check her out. Rachel Vancelette, Global Art Acquisitions Inc., VGAA, and ArtX Puzzles. Check her out on the gram at ArtX Puzzles, and she's all over the place. Make sure you head directly to her website. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Animoca Brands as a worldwide industry leader in digital, entertainment, blockchain, gamifications, and digital property rights. Animoca Brands plays a key role in the future growth of the metaverse. Ranked by the Financial Times as a high-growth company, Animoca Brands creates a new asset class, GameFi economies, and a more equitable digital framework contributing to the building of the open metaverse. For more information and to become part of the excitement, go to animocabrands.com. That's animocabrands.com.